think in a way we are a victim of our successes in the past, in the sense that we have been able to assimilate the Chinese, the Japanese, the Khmers, the Laotians, the Burmese, and they have all become Thais after second, third or fourth generations. So many Thai people are wondering, why is it that we have not been able to assimilate the Thai Malays, the Thai Malays Muslims? So this is a kind of a problem you have to deal with. You have to try to explain to the rest of the country, that this is a special situation. You have to respect their ethnicity. In the same way, if the rest of Thailand do not feel sort of threatened, they have no problem with the Thai Khmer speaking Khmer in Buriram, or the Thai Lao speaking Lao in the northeastern part of the country, or the northerners speaking a northern dialect, or the southerners speaking South dialect. We have to bring ourselves to understand that the Malay language spoken in that area is in fact the regional dialect.
So who are these people creating this instability in the South? Are they separatists? Are they terrorists, or just criminal elements?
I don't think the separatist issue is a big problem. It is a symptom. I think it has to do with the if you take a historical point of view, definitely the intelligentsia in that area. I'm not saying that they want to go back, to a situation 300 years ago when Pattani was a big trading empire, but I think they still cherish the reputation of Pattani being a center of Malay culture.
So
because Pattani at one time, was a very important trading post, and so they still recall the glorious days of Pattani, not as a trading post, but as a center of Malay culture, a little above the other Malay centers in the southern part of the peninsula. But secondly, I think that there have been victims of injustices, of mistreatment by the people sent down from Bangkok. And thirdly, I think that they have also been victims of illegal businesses. And of course, definitely corruption in the area. So I think that you cannot, sort of pinpoint one particular issue, which is there are several root problems that have to be dealt with simultaneously. In some areas, we may be able to make progress faster, but in some other areas, it's going to take time, particularly on areas or on issues which pertain to the mindset. And you have to deal with the rest of the country too, because many Thai Buddhists also sort of do not understand the issues clearly. So it has to be a reconciliation, not only between the government, the state authority, and the people in the South. It's a kind of reconciliation between the people in the South, predominantly Muslims, with the rest of the country.
So it's reconciling the conservative elements from both sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the neocons on both sides. That's why when you talk about the clash of civilization, I think they're barking on the wrong tree. It's not a clash of civilization. It's a clash of the two extremes. Of course, there have been people who have made use of the religion as a facade, as a pretext.
You don't discount external influence or
no, there is no external influence, except of course there have been some fundings, but I don't think the money that came through perhaps Singapore, Malaysia, perhaps I said to Thailand were meant sort of specifically for quote-unquote terrorist activities. What's happening in Thailand is gloriously exaggerated by the media here in Thailand, and as a result by the international press. If you look at the incidents, of course there were about over 1,000 incidents in a couple of years ago. This last year there had been more than 1,500. But all these incidents are isolated. they still use very primitive devices. There had been no organized,
yes,
sort of clashes or whatever. So it's foolhardy to try to compare it to Aceh or to southern part of Philippines or to whatever.
But it's harder to solve.
It's hard. No, I think all issues are very hard. All this. How long did it take Aceh problem to be resolved? Perhaps thanks to tsunami. So fate has a way of playing tricks on people. But I'm fairly hopeful. But of course, at the moment, everything is at a standstill because we don't have a government that is functioning fully. So I think in a way, the southern problem has been put on a back burner.
But your report comes out in March, and presumably the government, then you submit it to the government.
And with simultaneous release to the public.
So in order to identify, understand, and create mechanisms for addressing these political grievances that we spoke about, would the National Reconciliation Commission go beyond its current mandate and take on broader consultative processes?
No, I take it literally that we are sort of commissioned to look into the root causes to find appropriate policies and measures and to make recommendations to the government. And once we have made that recommendations, implicitly, the Commission ceases to function, unless the government, would like us to do something else, either collectively or individually.
Well, you sound optimistic that the solution will come to the southern.
I'm not a professional politician, but frequently I've been involved in the political process. And I think that if you're not an optimist, you better get out of the kitchen.
Well, thank you very much, Kun Anand, for a very informative place.
Thank you very much.